By midnight on the 13th of May, after 2 days of hard fighting, the 5th and 8th Armies had broken into the Gustav Line across the Liri Valley and at high points west of the main Aurunci mountains. But only the French Expeditionary Corps had broken through German defences. On the XIII Corps front, the objective of 10 and 12 brigades of the 4th Division on the 14th of May was the road between Cassino and Pignataro. The 2nd 4th Hampshires, the only formation of 28 Brigade that still had effective fighting strength, attacked across the Piopetto stream at 6 o'clock in the evening to capture Massa Veterchi. It was supported by tanks of 19 New Zealand Armoured battalion, which had been transferred from north of Cassino the previous day. The scissors bridge erected over the Piopetto collapsed under the weight of a Sherman tank, which fell into the stream. A second tank tried and failed to jump the waterway. A third rolled over as it ran up to the Piopetto. 3 New Zealand tanks crossed the stream over a log bridge to support the Hampshires. The Veterchi was taken in 30 minutes. 12th Brigade advanced at the same time to the Pignataro road. The 6th Black Watch with tanks advanced to point 49 on the road and then towards point 86, where it was blocked. It repulsed counterattacks and was relieved by the 1st West Kents that evening. On the Gari, the Royal Engineers had started work the previous night on a bridge for infantry and light traffic at the Congo crossing point. The job was completed at 8:30 on the morning of the 14th of May. Construction of the 70-foot tank-bearing Blackwater Bridge began at 5 o'clock on the afternoon and was finished 5 hours later. There were now 3 bridges to channel the advance of 2 brigades of Britain's 78th Division into the 4th Division's bridgehead for the breakout phase of XIII Corps' part of Operation Diadem. On the 8th Indian Division front at 5:25 in the morning of the 14th of May, the 3rd 15 Punjabis of 21 Indian Brigade, with tanks of Canada's 3 Rivers Regiment, advanced. They passed through the 1st 12 Frontier Force Rifles of 17 Brigade. 19 Brigade joined the advance. 1 Argyll and Sutherland Highlanders crossed to the east bank of the Gari. They swung left to mop up German forces in the Liri Appendix and elsewhere west of the Gari. 613 Frontier Force Rifles pushed forward to the left flank of 21 Brigade. At twilight, the rifles with tank support attacked Pignataro. The Germans had expected the assault to be preceded by an artillery program. The Argyll and Sutherland Highlanders were seen advancing from the south. As fire opened on the Highlanders, the rifles with the troop of Canadian tanks stormed the village. By dawn, resistance in Pignataro had been extinguished. All the principal fortifications of the Gari had been taken, but 1/3 of 17th Brigade were casualties. 19 Brigade's losses were only slightly lower. Before dawn on the 14th of May on the 2nd Corps front, German forces were ordered to retreat to the Dora line to the west. Santa Maria Infante was taken by America's 351 Infantry later in the morning. To the right, 350 infantry cleared the east bank of the Orsente stream and captured Monticello before dawn. Monte dei Bracci was occupied later in the morning by 349 infantry, moving up the hills on the west side of the Orsente. The regiment then turned west and advanced to the lower slopes of the north peak of Monte la Civita, south of Spigno, before dark. In the meantime, the 2nd and 3rd battalions of 349 were transported around Minturno and advanced to Santa Maria. Both battalions attacked west from Esridge at noon. They met little opposition. After dark, the 3rd Battalion climbed the slopes of the south peak of Monte la Civita and drove off the defenders. The north peak of Civita was taken by the 1st and 3rd Battalions of 351 Infantry, which had attacked across the valley from Santa Maria at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. By the end of the 14th of May, 2 corps occupied all of the South Ausonia Valley. The French Expeditionary Corps had reached the south bank of the Liri River the previous day. Now led by the 2nd Moroccan Mountain Division, It moved through the mountains north of Monte Macchio and were poised to advance towards Experia and other villages and towns in central Italy, but the French army's achievements in 1944 were to be permanently overshadowed by the atrocities they were to inflict on the people of the region. At 5 o'clock in the morning of the 14th of May, a Royal Irish Fusiliers Major Lawrence Franklin Vale and his battalion set off from Formicola for the front line to join the 78th Division breakthrough attack into the Liri Valley. At 9:30, the battalion started to arrive at a lying-up point on the east side of Monte Trocchio, where they waited for the move of the other two battalions of the Irish Brigade into the bridgehead west of the Gari via Congo Bridge, which had been completed that morning. At 7 o'clock in the evening, the Royal Irish Fusiliers crossed Congo Bridge into the bridgehead, where they were to remain for 2 days.